Hello, in this video we're going to explore using the silhouette portrait to cut some offset color decals in the shape of a rectangle. The first thing to do is to find some rectangle or square decals. Here you can see I'm looking for vintage signs. You could type album covers. You want to create a collection of rectangles for this exercise that you drag and drop to the desktop. The next step is going to be to organize the downloaded graphics into a folder. You can see me organizing them in a folder here from my computer, and then I will upload them to the shared folder that we'll use to get them to the machine connected to the silhouette portrait. Here I'm putting them in the share drive. And then here from the share drive, I am downloading them to the computer that the silhouette portrait is connected to. So next it's time to open up the software, Silhouette Studio. It asked me if I wanted to update, and I decided to do that later. We'll click on the page setup icon on the top of the menu bar. And then we'll choose registration marks and then turn on registration marks. And you'll see some guides that appear. We need to work within those guides in white, in the white area. Registration is so that the cutter can find our decals and cut them accordingly. So we'll import the first graphic into Silhouette Studio and resize that graphic to around 2 inches. We want to get 6 or 7 rectangles inside of the registration area. Once you've managed all of your graphics within Silhouette Studio, we're going to use the drawing tools to draw a rectangle in red around each graphic. You can see here I chose the rectangle with the rounded edges, and I'm doing an offset of about, looks like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. This red line will serve as an offset and be the path the cutter takes around each image. The next thing we'll do is make sure that the 8.5 by 11 letter tray is loaded with decal paper that has a logo on the back. And then back in Silhouette Studio, we'll click the printer button in the top left menu. Then we'll click the large blue print button. This will cause the printer to stall. So when that happens, just move this window up and we'll hit cancel on that. And now a smaller window will remain and we'll hit print in that window, and this will send your job to the printer. Next, we want to gather our print from the printer. Make sure it looks right. It does. And you can see it printed the registration marks and everything is inside of them. And then we'll apply the printed graphics to the cutting mat, making sure that the left edge and the top here align to the cutting mat. And there's actually a guide there that says 8.5 by 11. Next, we'll load the mat with the print into the silhouette portrait with the left of the paper in line with the black line on the cutter. We'll push the arrow up one time to load the paper. Now we'll go to click send in the upper right hand corner. The dark red line will indicate where the machine will cut. If any graphic has multiple lines on it, that would mean it's going to cut twice. And since we want an offset, we want to remove the red cut lines that run right along the border of the graphics. So we'll hit send again, and the machine will register your work. And you can see it registering here. Kind of does a scan of the all the corners. And you'll know you've had a successful registration because it'll show up on the left-hand side. Kind of do a little dance there before it starts cutting. So you'll see it go from registering to cutting, and then you'll also notice that on the portrait, it's now doing its job, cutting around each image. Next, you push the down arrow to eject your paper, and take your document from the machine and peel away the unwanted material. And your desired material should stick to the mat, and you should easily be able to get those off. You can take off any excess. Get rid of what we don't need here. And enjoy.